One of the things that I want to talk with you guys about today is um, understanding the the process, and that process being from the start to the end of producing a transcript. If any of you have a question, please do chat it to me and I would be very happy to answer it. Okay, so when we are in the beginning of getting a job started, the first thing that we always do is create a new job. When we are creating the new job, one of the most important things that we have to do is make sure that we have selected the correct style. For you guys, we only have one style right now, and that is the TNT Juvenile Court Hearing style. And when you are actually going to be dictating a job, you are going to want to place all of the names of the speakers right here in the speakers list. They should be typed out the way that you want to see them in the transcript. I don't know if you guys call the judge the court, as we do here in the States, or if you refer to the judge as the crown, which is what is done in Canada and in England. But either way, that's normally what you're going to make this the first speaker. And then if you have a district attorney or someone that represents the crown or the court, that's usually going to be speaker 2, the person asking the questions for the state. Then the person that is asking questions for the defense will normally be speaker 3. And then you may have many other players, such as, especially for the juvenile court project, you may have someone that represents the child. In the States here, I believe it's called the guardian ad litem. I'm not sure if you use the same term, but anyone who speaks at all during the hearing, you are going to want them represented in the speakers list. Now, you know, because you've already been in the dictate screen, that you can add these speakers from within the screen. So that's not a problem if you don't get them added as you're creating the new job. Normally, I will give a title to the job that reflects the actual case name. So if it's, you know, the state versus, you know, Thomas White, you could put that there. The note field is just for you. If you'd like to use it for some sort of a note that is relevant to you or when it's due, you may use that. And of course, the case should always be set to none. Oh, you're not seeing. Thank you so much for letting me know. Let me make sure that. Here you go. Thank you very much. Amina, I appreciate it. Okay, so here is the new job screen. So again, all of the speakers will be noted here. The job replacement fields here, these are all things that are going to fill in replacement fields that are in your cover or certificate pages. So you want to make sure that these are filled out. If you don't have all of that information when you're first starting a job, no worries. There's always time to come and add it later. You just have to remember that it needs to be added before you finalize. That way all of these fields will be merged into where they're supposed to be in the include directory setup. Now, we also have an acquire button here. What we do is we use the acquire button to go and get the audio. I know that your courts are using FTR Gold to record, and so I am unsure as to whether or not you will be able to acquire audio from FTR Gold and listen to it in the edit screen, or if you will have to run the FTR Gold player in order to listen to the audio. That's something we'll have to experiment with. But the acquire button is there normally simply to allow you to go and select audio. Okay, can you see? Not sure. Let me make sure you can see that screen. Here we go. So when you click on acquire, this screen shows up, and you can path to a place where your audio may be located. So for instance, I have audio in a certain place that I can go and select. And you can simply just select the actual audio file, and it'll come and tell you that it's been copied. And then you're ready to go into the edit screen. Yeah. So that you can start dictating. Now, make sure you're seeing the screen. Okay. I want to show you something. If ever you get into the screen and it looks like this, or even like this, so that you don't see the speakers, know that they could be hidden, and you may have to expand the screen from the left from the right toward the left. Everywhere there are these light blue lines is where we can move the screens. And so you always want to make sure that you see the volume over on the left, and that has to be all the way to the right in order for you to hear the audio that you have acquired. And then once you're here, it's a matter of opening the screen with the ability, because it did not ask me just then to open a screen with, it did not ask me to open the speech engine. And if it doesn't ask you to open the speech engine, you cannot dictate. And again, it's not asking me. I'm going to go and check my options. And as you can see, here's the problem with my options. On the SRE tab, it says never load speech engine when scoping. What I actually want selected is prompt to load speech engine when scoping. I'm going to click apply and OK. And now when I go in, I should be able to check the scope loads the speech engine and click on OK. And that's when Dragon is going to load. But it did not load. I want to show you something a little different today. I've acquired an audio file to this job, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask Dragon to transcribe it for me. So there's only one file. I want it transcribed with scope. I'm going to click on OK. I'm going to select the proper user and click on Open. And what I'm going to do here is I'm not going to be dictating. Actually, well, I guess that wasn't a good one to use because it didn't translate anything. Oftentimes, you can take an audio file that you have dictated and let Dragon listen to your voice and translate it into text. I'm going to exit out of here, and I'm going to go into, let's see. And this is probably where you guys have been doing most of your correction. Do any of you have any questions in regards to doing correction mechanism? Okay, Kim. Thank you, Michelle. What is your question, Kim? Okay. One of the audio files, when you were correcting, was repeating a line several times, even though you only said it once. Okay. Now, first I want to address the question of a repeated line, listening to a repeated line several times, even though you only said it once. And the original dictated was not on the file. That part I don't understand. Okay, when you are doing correction and you hit Control K or you click on the correction button, does it automatically play back for you one time, Kim? Okay, so yes. Okay, so the question is, as you are doing correction, when you hit page down to go to the next utterance, do you automatically hear the playback of the audio one time for each question? Okay. I'm going to bring up Dragon by itself, and I'd like for you